Wait lang, okay, may bobo. Naka-ano record. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hello? Where is it's Gigi? Who's that Gigi? In-accept ko siya pero hindi ko sure kung Hello, Gigi. You are, what's your full name? Hello, Mary Ann.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Nawala na si Gigi. Sino ba ito kaya?
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Let's wait for the others. Mga 5 minutes pa. Then, start na tayo.
Ma'am, malilate daw po si Van. Pauwi pa lang po siya eh.
Sige, okay lang.
Sige po. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Kilala niyo si Gigi? Nag-ano ko kung sino siya. May link siya. Baka gumamit siya ng ibang account.
Ma'am, ako po yun.
Ay, ikaw yon? Gigi?
Ibang account po kasi, ma'am, eh, kaya pinalit.
Oo. Akala ko kung ano. So, palayo mo, Gigi.
Hindi, ma'am. Ibang account po kasi yun.
Kaya nagtaka ako ibang ano. Okay, tayo na lang muna siguro. Start na tayo.
Sige po.
Okay, we're going to discuss today writing the reaction paper, review, or critique. Let us have first a review. Who wants to? Okay, Rowena is here. Mary Ann, kindly give a short recap about what we discussed last time. Mary Ann?
In terms of the structure and language of critics, I already said that about it, but how to organize your critique, it should have a summary, uh, it should be determining the strength and weakness, it should be have a sense of ideas, and lastly, it should include the final recommendation, ma'am.
Okay, very good, Mary Ann. Um, how about Rialin? Can you say something about what we discussed?
As far as I remember, ma'am, it's about critic po, di ba?
Yes.
So, critic is more on doing observations and reports,
Okay,
having the main point po.
okay, thank you. Do you have more?
Wala na po. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you so much. How about Rowena? Say something about presenting ideas for reaction papers, reviews, and critics.
I think, ma'am, this can help the audience to know or have idea, knowledge about the topic we will be discussing.
Okay, thank you. Exactly, all of you summarized what we had discussed. And we also discussed the tips as what you've said. Number one, the critic should be accessible to the audience by providing background information for the readers. That's the tip number one. And the second tip is relating your critic to greater realities, right? By giving a wider scheme of things. And we also discuss how to organize our critic. It should be the first one, the introduction. You have to introduce what is the problem you're facing off. Second part is the summary, which the summary is part of the body. Third one is the strength and weaknesses should be part of your critique. And also it could be in your body. And lastly, the final recommendation or the conclusion. Those are the parts of critique. Now, after going through this module, after we discussed, I expect that all of you can write an objective and balanced review or critique of a work of art or an event or program. So the activity we had last time is connected to our activity experience this module or this topic. Now, I also gave you an activity where you answered why was the review or critique conducted in the first place. Let us first answer this. Why are we going to do a critique? What is the essence of this? Any idea? Who wants to answer? Okay, Mary Ann.
To have balanced view of various topics, issues, or problems in our community and country. In academic writing, ma'am, the purpose of critic is to evaluate the strength and weakness of a paper. By that, a student can improve his or her writing through different perspectives and ideas.
Exactly. To evaluate a certain piece. It could be an event in our community. It could be a piece. It could be a poem. We can critique any piece of art form, okay, to assess things. Who else who have an idea about this? I want to call Rowena.
To be more, like what Ate Mary Ann say, to be more accessible and more for us for the audience to have more knowledge about the topic we've been discussing, we will discuss, or the topic that we will say.
Yes, thank you. Correct. For the audience to have more knowledge about that in order to improve also the specific piece that you're going to criticize. How about Realin?
Yes, ma'am. For us to ano po, to see if there's any problem that we can solve regarding the topic po.
Very
Para
good.
po mas po.
Very good. To answer the specific problem that you encounter in that piece. Very good. You're all correct. Now we're going to identify the differences of review, reaction paper, and critic. There are differences between the three. Now we are going to focus on the critic. But first, what is the difference between critic to the review and reaction paper? Now I'm going to read. The difference between a reaction paper and a review is that a reaction paper includes a commentary, personal reaction, take or stand regarding a topic. So it is subjective. It's about your comment in your personal reaction about a given work. On the other hand, a review synthesizes the topic and is also subjective in manner. This is the synthesis of the given work. That's a review about that subject. And critique is a detailed analysis and assessment of something. So it is the critical analysis, the detailed analysis or assessment of the given piece, especially a literary, philosophical, and political theory. In the last lesson, you were provided instructions on how to do reviews and critique. The tips, we already discussed about them. In this section, you will be guided to write them. How to write them. Now, what is the purpose of a critic paper? It is a critical analysis. The purpose of writing a critic is to evaluate. Marianne is correct. To evaluate somebody's work. It could be a book, an essay, a movie, or a painting. In order to increase the reader's understanding, like what Rowena said, a critical analysis is subjective writing because it expresses the writer's opinion or evaluation of a text. You're all right of what you've said a while ago. What are the three basic parts of a critique? The introduction, the body, and conclusion. The body is also known as the review. The conclusion is the recommendation, your final recommendation. First, introduction, kindly read Realin.
Introduction. Typically, the introduction is short, less than 10% of the word length, and you should... Basahin ko po ba lahat, ma'am?
Okay, number one. One muna.
Number one, name the work being reviewed as well as the date it was created and the name of the author or creator.
Okay, very good. When we say introduction, it's just the 10% of the total length of your work. Always remember that. So, dapat maikli lang siya. Only the gist ang ilalagay mo. And you should name the work being reviewed as well as the date it was created and the name of the author or creator para magkaroon ng knowledge yung mga audience or the readers. Now, here in the introduction, you're going to answer what is the product about, that question, and also what are its features. Only the 10%, or it could be that you have to introduce the piece you're going to criticize. Second, describe the main argument or purpose of the work. It is also in introduction. Next is explain the context in which the work was created. This could include the social or political context, the place of the work in a creative or academic tradition, or the relationship between the work and the creator's life experience. And lastly, have a concluding sentence that signposts what your evaluation of the work will be. For instance, it may be indicate whether it is positive, negative, or mixed evaluation. But take note that in your body, you have to give not just negative, not just positive, but both. Okay? The weaknesses and strength of the given work, which you are going to evaluate. Next part, we have the introduction. Of course, there is a body. Under body, we have the summary, critical evaluation. It is like writing an essay, right? As what I said before. The difference only in critic and an essay. In essay, the summary is in the conclusion. But here in critic, the summary is in the body. Because when we say summary of the critic, it's briefly summarization. It's a brief summary. Okay? Kindly read it, Rowena.
Summary. Briefly summarize the main point and objective. Describe how the creator portrays this by using techniques, style, media, characters, or symbols. This summary should not be the focus of the critic, and it's usually shorter than the critical evaluation.
Okay. When we say summary, it's just the gist of what the creator used. It could be the technique, styles, media, characters, or symbols. Okay? Kung kunwari sa art, nakita natin yung mga paintings, may mga meaning din yon. Iano mo kung ano yung mga ginamit niya. Gumamit ba siya ng straight lines, ng different shapes, may mga meaning din yan. And also colors, di ba? O kung ang purpose ng creator are to enlighten the mind of the readers, dapat angkop din yung kulay niya. Kung hindi angkop, now, state it in your summary. Next is critical evaluation. Mary Ann, kindly read.
Critical evaluation. This section should give a systematic and detailed assessment of the different elements of the work, evaluating how well the creator was able to achieve the purpose through this. A critical evaluation does not simply highlight negative impressions. It should deconstruct the work and identify both strengths and weaknesses. It should examine the work and evaluate its success in light of its purpose.
Okay, thank you. Deconstruct. Ibig sabihin, titignan mo detailed by detailed. You have to evaluate everything. Okay? Detailed assessment. Kaya nga sinabing systematic, ladderized, lahat nakikita. Okay? You have to evaluate how well the creator was able to achieve the purpose through this. Na-achieve ba niya yung purpose niya? Kaya niya nagawa yung piece na yon? Kung hindi, give your impression, your evaluation. And also take note na when you are evaluating a given work, you have to provide a background. Okay? Magpo-provide ka ng knowledge or concept. Kailangan mo ring i-attach yung reference mo, yung source mo. Kung sasabihin mo na dapat, sabihin mo kunwari, yung grammar, mali. Bakit sasabihin mo lang na mali yung grammar, dapat with S yung ano niya, dapat singular yung verb niya, dapat with S. Bakit maniniwala yung reader sa'yo? You have also to indicate the source or yung rule, bakit mali. Diba? Kung yung concept niya mali, dapat lagyan mo rin ng theory. Sinong may sabi na mali yon, diba? Para maniwala at magkaroon ng knowledge yung mga readers nyo. Take note of that. Hindi mo lang sasabihin na ito, weakness niya kasi mali ito. Mali yung pagkakakonstruct. Mali yung theory na ginamit niya. Now, you have to prove na mali yon by giving a concept or a theory of others. Are you getting my point? Nakuha nyo ba?
Opo, ma'am.
Okay. That is in the body. Here, conclusion naman tayo. Conclusion, this is usually a very brief paragraph. Okay, Rialin. Ay, nawala si Rialin ba? Okay. Saan na siya? Ayun, okay, nakapasok na siya. This is usually a very brief paragraph which includes tatlo. A statement indicating the overall evaluation of the work. Your complete evaluation. Dapat i-indicate mo siya doon. Kaya nga, yung pinaka-final recommendation. Next, a summary of the key reasons. Okay, hindi ito yung tulad ng summary na nasa body, ha? It's just the summary of key reasons. Yung pinaka-concept, bakit crinitic mo yon, kung bakit mali yon. Bigay mo rin yung final recommendation mo. Identified during the critical evaluation why this evaluation was formed. Give the reason why. And lastly, in some circumstances, recommendations for improvement on the work may be appropriate. Okay. Make sure that it is aligned or appropriate. That is conclusion. Also, put your reference list. Ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina. Kapag may sinabi kayong mali, pag sinabi nyong according to Perez, say for example, in 2016, blah, blah, blah. Now, give the reference. Dapat i-attach nyo sa bandang dulo. Okay, meron kayong page ng reference nyo na nagsasite kung saan nyo kinuha yung mga theory or concept or knowledge na in-indicate nyo. Okay, as what written here, include all resources cited in your critique. Check with your lecturer or tutor for which referencing style to use. Na-discuss na natin yan. Kung paano tayo kumuha o maglista ng ating reference. So kahit balikan nyo na lang dun if nalilito pa kayo. Now, we have checklist. Okay, para masabi nating effective and good enough yung ating critique, we have here the checklist. Okay, have I mentioned the name of the work, the date of its creation, and the name of the creator? Okay, here, when you mention the name of the work, it is in what part? Realin, in what part? In what part of a critique where you mention the name of the work, the date of its creation, and the name of the creator? Is it in the introduction, conclusion, body?
Ma'am, ano po yun?
Here, we discussed the checklist, right? I mentioned here the first one. Have I mentioned the name of the work, the date of its creation, and the name of the creator? If you indicated this, where? Is it in the body, in the conclusion, or in the introduction? In which part you mentioned the name of the work? Yes?
Body po?
Body, you could include there, but make sure that you indicated all this background in the introduction, because in the introduction you are just giving the background or your knowledge about the piece, who is the creator, what its features, and what is the problem. Those are the questions you have attached to the introduction. Okay, take note of that. Second one, accurately summarize the work being critiqued. Where is the summary? Is it in the body? Is it in the conclusion or introduction? How about Rowena?
Body, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Body. Okay, na ano tayo? Okay, Van is entering the room. Hi, Van. Okay, next. mainly focused on critical evaluation of the work. Where is the critical evaluation? Rowena, I should call Marianne.
Body, ma'am.
Very good. The critical evaluation is in the body. Next question or checklist. Systematically outlined an evaluation of each element of the work to achieve the overall purpose. Where is it? The purpose, the systematic outlining of an evaluation. How about Van?
Ma'am,
How are you? Where have you been?
galing po kasi akong Alaminos, ma'am.
Okay. Now, dahil kararating mo lang, kasi na-discuss namin yung mga different parts ng critic. So, after nun, nagbigay tayo ng checklist dito para malaman natin kung maganda ba yung critic na ginawa natin. Now, tinatanong ko kung anong part ng critic, is it in the introduction, body, or the conclusion, wherein you used evidence. Dito na ba tayo? I know, the systematically outlined an evaluation of each element of the work to achieve the overall purpose. Yung systematically outlined. Systematic outline. Anong part yon?
Ano po, it's either sa body or sa conclusion po.
Okay, it is in the body, okay? The overall purpose. Next, use
Hindi po siya po
evidence.
naging conclusion, ma'am?
Ha?
Yung sa ano po, yung ano po, hindi po ba siya conclusion?
Kasi sa conclusion kasi, ang nandoon sa ating conclusion ay yung overall evaluation. Pero yung systematic evaluation, yung iniisa-isa mo siya with background information or concept na kinuha mo, nasa body siya. Okay? Kapag systematic na evaluation mo, sa critical evaluation, nabanggit kasi natin kanina, na yung body, there are two parts. The summary and the critical evaluation. In critical evaluation, andito yung systematic evaluation mo sa bawat element ng work. Halimbawa, sa grammar, mali. Now, kailangan mong i-indicate yung rule. Pero pag in-indicate mo yung rule, dapat ilalagay mo rin yung reference mo sa reference list mo. Halimbawa, mali yung nilagay na kulay sa painting. Say for example, kapag mali ang nilagay, now ilalagay mo kung ano ba yung meaning ng mga kulay. Ilalagay mo ulit dun sa reference list mo. Ganon. Kapag systematic evaluation mo, it is in the body or critical evaluation under the body. Okay?
Yes po.
Next, used evidence from the work itself as well as other sources to back and illustrate my assessment of elements of the work. Yan, parang dito na rin to. Gumamit ka ng evidence mo. Why you say na strength niya yon? Why can you say na weaknesses niya yon? Ilalagay mo dun yung sources mo. Next, it is also part of the body, okay? Next, formed an overall evaluation of the work based on critical reading. Overall evaluation. Where is it? Realin?
Conclusion, ma'am.
Okay, very good. It is in the conclusion, the overall evaluation. Next, used a well-structured introduction, body, and conclusion. Given na to, dapat lahat yon. Dapat well-structured. Maganda yung construct. Next, used correct grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Clear presentation and appropriate referencing style. O yung sa reference style natin, yung format tulad ng dati. Ganun ang gagawin natin. Okay, correct grammar. Diyan tayo madalas nagkakamali. Pero syempre, nobody is perfect. So, mapapractice naman yan. As long as lagi tayong nagsusulat. Spelling and punctuation. Okay, ay na-obserbahan ko especially in spelling, nagkakamali tayo minsan kahit sa mga wordings. Kasi halimbawa, were, the word were, W-E-R, and yung were na W-E'-R-E. Madalas nagkakamali rin yung marami sa atin doon. Ano pa? Kasi may pagkakaiba yon. Yung were, past tense ng are, di ba? That is linking verb. Pag merong apostrophe sa gitna, W-E'-R-E, that is the shortcut of we are, okay? Or we were. Ganon. Dapat ayusin din natin yon para hindi magkaroon ng mislead yung mga readers. Next is punctuation. Minsan nakakalimutan natin sa mga activity natin. Hindi tayo naglalagay ng mga comma, ng different punctuation marks, kaya nagkahalo-halo, hindi halos maintindihan. Dapat maayos din nating nagawa yon. And before you submit your critique, you have to read it and read it. Not just once, not just twice, but at least 3 times. Okay? Next. Okay. Do you have any question about writing a critique? The differences between critique, review, and reaction paper? Any questions? No more?
No, ma'am.
Okay. How about the others?
Anong pinagkaiba
Wala.
ng argumentative essay sa critic paper? Parang parehas lang po, ma'am.
Yes, Mary Ann, kindly,
Ano pong pinagkaiba ng critic paper sa argumentative essay? Kasi di ba parang strength weakness pinapakita doon, ma'am.
Okay. Sa argument paper kasi, kaya tinawag na argument, kasi tinitignan lang doon yung problem. But in critic paper, tulad ng sinabi, you are not just indicating the weakness, but also the strength. Kaya dapat balance yung review mo. Pag may positive, may negative. May weakness, may strength. Unlike sa argumentation, na hinahanap mo lang, what is the problem in the specific artwork or specific piece. Yun yung pagkakaiba nilang dalawa. Pero pareho silang academic. Okay? More on academic sila, unlike sa review and review and reaction paper. May question pa?
Wala na po.
Ano more kay Van? Mary Ann, meron pang question?
Wala na po, ma'am.
No more. How about Rialyn?
Wala na, ma'am.
Rowena?
Wala na rin po, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Now, to sum it up, kasi namamatay pala itong Zoom. Hindi ko siya in-upgrade kasi baka pag in-upgrade ko siya, hindi na ako makapag-record. Kaya hindi ko siya ina-upgrade. Dapat 40 minutes lang yung discussion. Tulad kanina, namatay yung Zoom meeting namin. Okay, summary. We discussed the differences between a review, reaction paper, and critique. Again, what are the differences between the three? Wala pa si Van kanina eh. Rowena.
Review is lang po. Review is the one that you think your opinion about the topic. Reaction paper is the
Medyo nagkamali ka doon. Yung commentary, that is under reaction paper. Kapag your comment, your reaction about the piece, reaction paper yon. Pag review, ito yung you are just synthesizing the parts of a work that is review. Kaya siya review. Pahapyaw sa mga sa ginawa Okay? Though meron din siyang conclusion, meron din siyang commentary, pero more on review, more on sa ano lang siya, more on the subject. And reaction paper, that is commentary, your stand, okay? Your stand in the specific piece. However, critic, what is critic again? Ituloy mo na lang, Rowena. What is critic?
Critic has a weakness and strength and have a body, introduction, body, and a conclusion.
Okay, very good.
On it.
It is the critical analysis or evaluation, the assessment of the given piece. That is critic. Now, there is a purpose of critic paper. What is the purpose, Marianne?
Ulitin ko po ba ulit, ma'am, or summary lang?
Summary lang. It's just a
Uh,
review.
the purpose of a critic paper is to evaluate someone's work and to have balanced view of various areas or topics,
Okay,
just
very
like
good.
essay.
Okay, that is the purpose of critic paper. Now, there are basic parts of critic paper naman. We have 3, and under body, meron din yon. Kindly state them, Realin.
The name of the author po in the work, plus yung general review po ng summary or yung subject na tinutukoy mo po about sa author's argumentative. And then sa focus po, nag-focus po sa sentence which is indicating the divide, the whole discussion po about sa particular subject na tinutukoy po or topic na dinidiscuss po.
Okay. In short, we have the introduction, yung feature, yung work. Then yung body, we have the summary. Okay, less than a minute na lang. Ito yung summary, tsaka yung critical evaluation. And sa conclusion, it's your final recommendation. And do you have any question? Okay, on Wednesday, we will make a critique, okay? Using your chosen prompt, either an event in your community or an upcoming gadget to be released in the market. Yung ginawa natin na outline before, you're going to make it as a critique, okay, on Wednesday. But you can start now. Okay,
Ma'am,
write a critique, yes?
yung sinasabi niyo pong critic making, ma'am, yung ano po, gagawin po ng critic yung last activity?
Oo, yes. Yung sa activity natin
Ma'am,
sa,
yung
sa experience nung last week. Okay,
ma'am,
after nitong
nakapag-pass
tawag,
na
wait
po
lang
kasi
pagka
ako.
after ng tawag natin dito, ano ulit tayo ha, call ulit. Balik tayo for the further explanation, okay? Kasi baka mamatay ito.